You know what time it is, Kobe?
No, Barry, what time is it?
It's time to welcome all of our constituents at 66.6 FM. Who watches this horror edition? Honestly, kind of genius. I don't know why no one's ever thought about that.
Yeah.
66.6 FM?
Right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Welcome to the second week of Spooktacular.
Fiber-filled second wheat.
Make those bowel movements clean.
Or what is it? Or, I can't remember now.
Yes, we're doing the second week of Halloween month. You know, our most likely the most favorite month for everybody here at the Who Watches This podcast. And man, you know, like I said before, in the first week we're doing a 2x2. Colby picks two movies, and I pick two, and this is my week, and pretty cool. Let's just get into the rhymefest of it all, so we can tell you guys what movie we're doing today, right? A radio station. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, okay. A radio station spins webs thought to be fiction of tales of creatures performing acts in horrific depiction, from a child summoning demons to vigilante murderers, from active participants to quiet observers. Will this just be a generic anthology horror flick that's campy? We're gonna find out in 2021's Bad Candy.
Dun, dun, dun.
This was hard, man.
It was good, though.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah, I believe
it was good enough I didn't laugh during it.
I know, sometimes it's a reach, right? Like, you're like, whew. That was, it was like a 4'11" Latina girl reaching at you. If you guys have ever had a Latino girlfriend, you guys know what I'm talking about. But no, yeah, today we're going to be talking about the direct-to-stream movie, or maybe Oktoberfest type of release. I didn't really get a lot of information on this movie.
I looked a little bit and I didn't find much either.
Yeah, no.
But this could totally have been like a Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, 100%.
Minus one scene.
I'm
sure that
well, it wasn't too
late night.
Yeah,
Sci-Fi Channel.
it would be like the midnight.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like, you know, nothing explicit was shown, but it was just the act.
That's true. Yeah.
Right, but this movie doesn't really have anyone too particularly famous. Did you recognize anybody?
It has got two big names.
Oh, see, this is, you know, there's a generational gap.
It is. It's a generational gap. So the two disc jockeys.
Yeah.
The one guy is the guy from Gremlins, the main actor from Gremlins.
Holy shit. Okay.
And then the guy who talks a lot. Mm-hmm. He's the lead singer of Slipknot.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I never seen them without their faces. Wait, was he the main DJ?
Yes.
That makes sense. I was like, man, this guy has a mullet.
Right, and I hate to say it, but the one real actor in this totally phoned it in. Just the worst acting in this whole movie is by the actual named actor. We'll get to that at the end.
Oh, see, yeah, first of all, I've seen Gremlins. You couldn't pay me enough money or you couldn't like name this actor, because I saw him when he was probably like a teenager.
Oh yeah, right. He was like a high school student.
Yeah,
right?
And now I'm seeing him in his like 50s. Yeah, it's, you know, it's the same thing with the main character from E.T. I didn't know he was the dad in Haunting Hill, or House on Haunted Hill.
He has made himself a comeback.
Yeah.
And he's in a bunch of good horror stuff, and he is a much better actor than he was as a child. Gremlins, they were like, hey, dude, we'll give you like half a bottle of Jack and a pack of cigarettes if you want to come spend 12 minutes in the studio filming something. He's like, okay. Fine.
Yeah, better deal than what the Lost Boys got. But yeah, okay. See, I totally did not look into the actors. I was like, I don't recognize anybody.
Right.
But yeah, and funny enough, like, sorry.
Everybody in it is in multiple bad horror movies. Like that, it's their shtick.
Yeah.
But the best actor in it from when you were
But a child.
we'll get to that scene. But the best actor in it has actually been in quite a few movies that are not just B horror movies.
Oh, some notables.
Some notables.
All right. So, like, funny enough, too. Originally, when I pitched this movie to Colby, when I watched it, because we try to keep it to a minimum on how much we dig into these movies before we initially watch it.
Right.
So we kind of pitch it blindly by maybe just watching the trailer at most.
Yeah.
And so when I watched this trailer, I was like, okay, cool. It's like a straightforward story. Maybe it's like a Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of situation. Not an anthology, but just one overarching story. And as I continue to watch it, fuck, this is going to be an anthology. So I'm going to try to recollect this the best I can, just because there's no like real big outline for this. Like the Wikipedia is super brief.
Right. Yeah.
Especially for directed
What was
streams.
it? Is this 2020?
Yeah, I think 2021, depending. I don't know. I get 2 different dates, so it's kind of weird. And so, yeah, let's start this movie. It starts off with the radio jock DJ talking about welcome ghouls, witches, and warlocks. This is 6.6, Rowdy Rough Boy. And we're going to be telling you guys a whole bunch of scary stories, some true, some fiction.
Right, and it's kind of like he's telling the stories of like horror stories from the town.
Yeah, and that's really our main kind of anchor throughout this whole entire movie, right? But then we get shots of we get establishing shots of the town that we're in. We're in New Salem, so I was like, okay, cool.
Right.
A very prominent historical horror figure town. And but we get a shot of like this girl on a bike. She's in a witch outfit. She's biking through the the graveyard.
Yeah. Yep. Cemetery.
A cemetery. I was like, Jesus. All right. Okay. And then we get like this really like drunk Bam Bam Bigelow type of guy. And
he very much looked like
haggard.
The burliest guy from that was like one of the main guys from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah.
Like I totally thought it could have been him, but then it wasn't.
Or like the guy who recruited Harry Potter or whatever that dude's name. Hagrid?
Like Hagrid?
Yeah,
Yep.
Hagrid. Yeah, Hagrid. He looked haggard.
Yep.
And he's driving through the town in this old pickup truck. It's like one of those pickup trucks you would always kind of hear about, like in small towns. Like, if you go to this road at 2:30 in the morning and flick your lights, someone's going to play chicken with you. And it's like this pickup truck, right?
Right, yeah.
He runs over, like, this accountant.
Right, and
Doesn't even stop.
doesn't even slow down. Just, I don't think he even notices. He like looks to change the radio station, but boom, keeps on going.
Blood on the grill of the car and
Yep.
everything, and this little girl, she's driving, she's biking through, and then she leaves her bike in the open path of a trail,
Right.
and she goes to this tree house, and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, man, that's so cool, like I always, American movies make you think at least one neighborhood per block has a tree house.
It's a nice treehouse.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
It's fit. It has electrical.
Right.
In the middle of the woods. They have a generator.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't really.
Yeah.
You're right. Like,
Or maybe it's like just one of those like vast backyards of
could be. There's like an extension cord going through the trees.
Right.
We'll go with that because yeah.
Well, yeah, because I remember as a kid I went to Connecticut to visit like one of my mom's friends, and they lived in that kind of like, here's your house, here's the woods.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
it's
it's
terrifying to me.
My parents grew up in New Jersey, and both of them had that. It was like, here's the neighborhood, and then you just walk a block, and then you're in the forest.
Terrifying to me. So maybe that's the situation. But there's like this group of kids, and like in the trailer, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like a Stranger Things kind of situation, right? Because you have your characters. It's even cool because they even have like a girl who's deaf,
Right.
and like
Yep.
all of her friends know how to sign. I was like, wow, that's like fucking progressive. Because they're all signing to her. I was like, that's so cool. They all know ASL. What a wonderful, wonderful skill for kids to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're talking about how like, yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna go trick or treating, just like a group of like really good kids.
Right. Oh yeah. Exactly. Like a bunch of 12-year-olds would be doing.
Yeah, they're all dressed up. One girl's like super ecstatic about her thing because she's like a vampire, like one of those regal vampires from Interview the Vampire.
Yep.
Like the one that would have been hanging out with Antonio Banderas.
Then you get the kid. What boy's a football player?
Yeah, the girl,
The witch. With the girl
Yeah.
we saw that was.
the girl who was deaf, she was like a cat.
Oh yeah. Right.
And then we had one going as Johnny from Cobra Kai in his Halloween outfit. That'll forever be like the skeleton. It's you're Johnny.
It's always
Yeah.
It's always Karate Kid. Yeah.
Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai. Sweet outfit, bro. I'm a skeleton. He's like, yeah, from Karate Kid. And they're just super hype, and they're just like, we gotta look out for each other and make sure there's no bullies. And then as soon as she says that, she hears smashing of pumpkins outside,
Right.
and it's like this little shit in a Dracula outfit.
It is, and that was the one thing was like that's not a bully. That's one of your guys' little brothers. Like
Yeah,
he's
or just like a kid.
he's just like a kid. Yeah, but he's out there like smashing pumpkins, being a punk.
Yeah, but like I could also understand he's like, because he's like berating this treehouse club.
Yeah.
And all that kid wants to be is in that club.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I can kind of get both situations.
Yeah, but he's a little bitch. So
Yeah, he's kind of a
I
dick.
wouldn't let him in my club either.
But he, like, and the girl who's dressed up as like a regal vampire, she's like, "I'm gonna tell your mom," and he like dips out. No, sorry. So before Witch Girl gets in here, she's drawing like a scared clown, and it gets outlined by this red glow, and you're like, "Oh, it was a cool ink, I guess."
Right.
And then even in the treehouse, she starts to draw, but her regal vampire friend is like, "Hey, stop."
Right.
We don't
want to happen last year to happen again.
What? And you're like, what happened last
Right.
year, right?
But they say it like they kind of breeze by it. So like if you're not really paying attention, you totally miss it.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, shenanigans happen. But as they're planning to split up, they have like their like what's glow in the dark, what was it called? Their
Glow sticks.
glow sticks and everything.
Yep.
They're super hype. Witch Girl gets like a bunch of calls from her stepdad.
Yeah.
And-
Because I guess it was almost like they weren't getting calls at the treehouse because it
Yeah.
was so far out in the forest. I don't know. Because all of a sudden she's like, oh, her like phone beeps and she looks. She's like, oh no, 10 missed calls.
From my stepdad.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'll catch up with you guys later. Don't worry.
Right.
But like, as soon as like everyone kind of splits up, there's like this scary looking clown in the middle of the woods, and he is looking at the vampire kid because,
Right.
like Sam from Trick or Treat, maybe he's like, you're breaking the rules, bro. You got to keep those lit. And so this Dracula goes to a house and breaks one of the cardinal rules of Halloween when there's a sign that says take one.
Right. Yep.
You're supposed to, come on, guys. You're supposed to only take maybe two. But like anything after that, you're like, you're being a dick. Right?
And it's not only that, like, he's like, I take all the candy, but he's digging through it and being like, just throwing the ones he doesn't like into the trash.
Yeah,
so it's not even like, I'm just taking the good ones.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm taking what I want, and then nobody else gets nothing.
Yeah, you guys can pick up all this, what's it called? Like, what are those dry, chalky smarts? No.
Oh, the Smarties?
Smarties. He's like throwing the Smarties out.
Yeah.
He's throwing like the bank candy out. I don't even think banks have candies anymore. But like he's throwing all the shitty, like, the ones you would find in senior citizen homes.
Right, yes. Yeah.
But then he gets distracted by like this like little camp of clown stuff. And he walks to it, and I'm gonna call him Jester, right? Jester comes behind him, he full palms this kid's head.
Yeah, yeah.
And turns him into like a wooden, like
a little like
like doll.
it looks almost like a little Dracula that you would hang on a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Like that's what to me it was like. Oh, it's like made him into an ornament.
Yeah, it looks like something that they would have whittled or like whittled down back in the Salem days.
Yeah.
Very very rustic, very pilgrimish type of like figurine. You're just like, holy shit, right? And then we cut to Witch Girl. She gets picked up by her stepdad, who is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
And he's like, I called you. Where were you? I fucking hate this holiday.
Yeah.
And everything. He's just like, give me that phone. You can't have it if you're not going to answer it.
You're just going to be out here causing trouble.
Yeah.
That's why we got to go home.
Grounded. And she's like, come on. Like, and she's like, no. This fucking stupid holiday. And as soon as they get home, the house is kind of like in disarray and everything. Honestly, I didn't know that this was a house. I thought it was like a trailer from the way it looks like inside.
Right, totally.
Until you get outside and it's like a full ass house. But she's like, Mom loved this holiday. And he's like, whoa, I'm all you got now.
Yep.
And in my head, like, I was like, if that is like biologically my child and I pass away, I feel like de facto, like my child would go to someone who's like blood related and not with like a step parent.
Right.
I don't know. You're a step parent.
Yeah.
So like, how did you like if in that situation
something happened to Teresa? She would go. Yeah, she would go. She would go with her dad.
Yeah.
If that wasn't a possibility, she would go with her grandparents, and if that wasn't a possibility, then
you're like last in the line.
Right,
like,
right.
Well, to
Yeah,
me
I'm
or
like,
a foster home.
I'm like Secretary of Defense. There's got to be a lot of like candidates that
I thought you'd be like
away
agriculture
before I get president.
Secretary of Agriculture.
Right, yeah, Secretary of Agriculture.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess like in my head I was like, oh, it's just a fucking movie. Let's not think about it too much, right? But so she goes into her room and she starts drawing into her book, and then you find out that this girl has like witch abilities.
Right.
She's there was a character, she's Sai from Naruto. She's drawing shit and they're coming to life.
Yep.
She draws a fairy, like a little dark fairy.
Yeah.
And like, it tries to, oh my God. First of all, if I go into a house and there's like that little sliding thing outside of people's doors,
Ooh, right.
I was like, this is like people under the stairs type of house.
Yeah, because not only is she grounded, but Dad then locks from the outside of her room. She locks the door.
I was like, and the little fairy's trying to do that, and then she also draws like a little gremlin.
Yeah.
Little hairy gremlin, but it's like kind of adorable. It's like ugly cute. It's like a pug. This thing is like the pug of like gremlins,
Yeah.
And she's like petting it, but then like the dad starts to hear all this like.
Right, because it starts scratching at the bottom of the door like a little puppy trying to get out.
And so like he gets in, he's like, and this is where you kind of know like this has happened before.
Right.
Because like, what little demons are you summoning now? And he starts beating the shit out of this gremlin.
Yeah.
And he like squashes this fairy, and like this rainbow fairy juice, like it's like a fruit gusher. And then she goes back.
It's like a Skittles commercial. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Skittles commercials were like gross in the 2000s. You remember the one with the Skittles chicken pox?
Yes.
Disgusting. It's like picking a fucking
Is
wart.
It contagious?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But no, and then so she starts going back into her drawing book, and she draws like her dead mother.
Yeah.
And the dead mother comes out, and it's like this ghoulish looking banshee woman.
Yeah.
And she's like Shang Shungs him, and she's like, "Your soul is mine."
Yep. And then basically sucks all his blood out of his eye holes.
And then she goes on her way. She's like, all right, I'm going to go trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a text.
Yeah.
Joey's still at Elm Street.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down there.
And so, yeah, and then after that, and then it pops over to another story where this old grandpa is, like, filling up all these treats with, like, everything that parents have always, like, warned you about.
Yeah. And we'll get, like, just so you know, like, between each story, you get a little flashback to to the radio station.
And he's like, ooh, that's a spooky story.
Right, or they take a phone call or whatever.
Yeah, and so like it goes to like this candy person, and he's like, terrible person. He's like, first of all, you know, they always say like, hey, don't take anything open container type of situation.
Right.
Make sure it's all wrapped up and everything. But he's like putting razor blades in like cupcakes, putting razor blades in full candy bars. You're never supposed to trick the treat. Right?
And it's like you get this whole montage of him like tampering with food, and he's got like candy bars like lined up. He's got like cupcakes all like.
Oh yeah.
And he's got like you can see like the little bottle of poison or whatever behind the gumdrops where he's like injected them all.
And the worst part of this whole situation is, right, they're full candy bars. So you know everyone's texting like, hey, this house has like full candy bars. Make sure you stop by here. And like, you know, this little girl, adorable little girl in the little Red Riding Hood outfit comes and he's like, oh, do you want a cupcake? He's like, is it vegan or?
Yeah, it's a vegan and gluten free. He's like, of course it is.
Little girl, here, give this to your mother. But before she can go home with it, Jester pops up out of nowhere, scares the bejesus of this little girl.
Right.
Giving this girl like a now everlasting fear of clowns.
Absolutely. But she does drop the candy and the cupcake.
Exactly. Initially saving her. Really the spirit of Halloween. Right. And he goes to trick the treater.
Yep.
And man, first it's like a little Jack in the Box, and then like he comes back up, he's like, aren't you a little too old to be doing this? And he's like, I don't know.
with scary ass fingers.
Yeah, with scary, like, yeah.
Yeah, that was the most terrifying part was I don't know how they did his hands. It was creepy fingers.
And then the Jack comes out of the box, sprays him with something.
Right.
Starts freaking out. They have this like battle, not really a battle, but like the Jester is just watching him like freak out, and he grabs a shotgun out like on top of like his sink.
Yeah.
Starts trying to shoot him. It just doesn't work, and Jester ultimately kills this guy.
Yeah.
Like this, I don't know if he disbodies him. I think he does. And then, like, you know, cuts back to the radio station, like, that's why you should always check your treats, kids.
Yep.
And make sure, and parents do better. And all of a sudden, we cut to a club. This guy's a drug dealer. He's having all these awkward drug dealing situations. It's so weird.
He's like I used to be cool in high school, but now I'm old. But I still hang out with high school students
and college
and
students.
They pay attention to me because I
got the drugs.
I got the drugs, but I want them to think I'm cool, so I don't sell them. I just give them to them.
Yeah, he looks like like Jesse from Full House if Danny never like called them to look for the kids, look after the kids, right? And he like got really hard into drugs. But you do meet some people that kind of tie into other stories. Like he meets like 3 girls, like one of them is like a lady cop, and he's like, here's some free drugs.
Right.
And he meets like this guy in like a MAGA hat, and he's like, the guy in the MAGA hat's like, hey, do you want to come to this thing? I'm gonna sexually assault this girl. And he's like, dog, don't tell me. Also, now that you said that, you didn't get these drugs from me. Because he's like, I still got to make my quota, but I don't want to no longer be associated with you.
Yep.
You know, he gives like these 2 girls like some drugs, and they're like, thanks, loser. He's
right.
Like,
they're kind of like a little flirty with him until he gives them the drugs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's Paris Hilton and
Nikki.
And they're like, loser.
Yeah, he's like, oh, whatever, skanks. He gives like this girl in a nurse's outfit some drugs because she looks like out of it.
Right, because she's like texting her boyfriend and he's not coming, so she's just like, and he's like, here's a love letter for you to read later.
And then, you know, drugs. And he's like, and then, you know, hit me up if you need any more, baby girl. That's like the feeling, right?
Right.
But then he kind of just is like super tired of this party or this club that he's in.
Right. Yeah.
So he hops in his like
Camaro. Or he's out of
Camaro.
drugs and he's gonna go get some more.
All right, but he hops in his like Camaro, or no, sorry, Camaro's still a little too cool. He hops in his Firebird, and he
See, that would have been the car that was so cool back in the day, and he's still driving it.
yeah, he's still driving the same car. He's like, yeah, what's up, baby? 18 miles to the gallon. Boom. Oh, man. 0 to 60 in 6 seconds.
classic.
Yeah. He goes to the gas station. Some prostitutes flirt with him a little bit, and he knows the deal. They run in the same circles, and he's just like, here, take some drugs. Leave me alone. Because, yeah, I know you're not going to, give it up for free, and you're going to keep bothering me. So here's like a little freebie bag, and then he goes into the bathroom to like take a shit.
Right.
But like one of the worst fears that you could have is that the bathroom doesn't have toilet paper, which happened to me recently.
And you TikToked about it.
I did. I was like, you know what? I had to waddle.
From the bathroom.
Yeah, I had to waddle with my ass out. I was like, thankfully, like the restaurant was empty. So I was like, all right, there's no chance any man's gonna come in here because the whole staff is all women.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
No man was in there to know.
No, but it was like it wasn't like a private bathroom. It was like one of those like anybody can go in bathrooms.
Just like the singles.
Yeah.
Gotcha. At least it's got a more locked door. It's a little more
Right?
private.
Nah, but I had to waddle out to get like the paper. But no, and then like he gets a text on his phone of like his feet.
Well, oh, right, a picture of his feet.
Which I still don't understand why we have these type of bathrooms here in America, because everywhere else in the world, it's like a full stall.
Right.
There's no like spaces where you can like peek in, not even on the floor.
Well, yeah, it's America's. It's just a creepy country. We
like to catch a glimpse.
We like to take a glimpse.
Like, Jesus, that guy has a hog.
Well, I think it, like, because I know, like, if I like, sounds terrible, man. I like always take a little peek because I don't want to be the guy who's like rattling the locked door. I'm like, a little peek. Okay, that one looks empty. Okay, now I'll try it.
I just push like, oh no. But no, yeah, and so like, yeah, he gets murdered by this other guy that's in a clown outfit.
Yeah.
But like, not Jester. It looks like just a guy in a clown outfit.
Yeah, it's like a devil clown kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. But he gets cut up. Like,
and that's a good fun because like he drops his phone.
Yeah.
And he goes to reach for his phone and he gets like the tips of his fingers slashed with a knife.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific, right?
Yeah, that was one of the best parts of the movie. It was good.
And then after that, again, it cuts off to the radio station. They talk about the story that just got told.
Right.
And then it cuts over to the nurse girl.
Yeah.
Who's like getting a text from her boss, like, hey, I need you to come in and cover. Something happened. I had to dip out. And she's like, fuck. And then her friends are like, Abby, what are you doing? And she's like, I got to go back to work.
Yeah.
And she's like, I got to go back to work. And like, Matthew's not even going to show up. So like, whatever, And she's like, oh, your boyfriend's so trash.
Yep.
Like, come, like, there's these guys that have bottles and drugs, and we're gonna do them. She's like, no, I'll just go to work. And this is like probably the most awkward segment in the whole thing,
right?
Because the girl goes,
but okay, yeah.
No, go ahead.
We'll get to it.
Okay, and so like she gets to work, and she's like, looking at bodies that she needs to possibly,
because she lives in she's a mortician.
Yeah.
Or works at a morgue.
Yeah, and she's like, let me see what I could run through. And she's like, oh, this guy's hot. I'll do his body. I was like, oh, that's a weird segment. But then, like, she, like, takes some tequila out of, like, this haggard-looking fridge. It looks like a fridge from Silent Hill. She drinks that, and she looks at the drugs that she got earlier. And she's like,
right.
Whatever, I'll take them.
And that's acid. Like she likes like little squares. She puts on her tongue, and then she's like, "Oh, it tastes like coconut." That's weird. But yeah, like I would guess you're not supposed to drink. I have like a hit of acid with like half a bottle of tequila.
Tequila's already gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
But she starts like looking at this body, and it's like, what is happening right now? And she,
It's like a weird, like, she's really bored and she's upset and she's sad that her boyfriend. So she's kind of like play talking with like the dead people, and she keeps saying that she's like, oh yeah, nobody likes Christy. She only likes dead people. You know, kind of like joking about like her job and stuff.
yeah, like she was probably like a goth girl back in the day.
Right.
Which, like, you know, goth girls now are having like this huge like not resurgence, but like,
Goth girls have always been hot. Always.
but now more than ever, right?
Always.
And
Goth
so
girls
like,
were hot when I was in high school.
I know Kobe didn't have a chance. He was like a jock. He was like, you know, he was a swimmer. Everyone's already seen his junk in the Speedos.
I had a Letterman jacket.
Are you kind of sad that they started doing like the shorts? Like now, like have you seen like the Olympics where they have like the swimming trunks?
Yeah.
And you're like, where was that? You know?
Right. Older me, when I did like corporate challenge, when I was like a grown up, I got that. I didn't go Speedo.
Yeah, you're like, I really wish I had this in high school. The tube sock would have held better. But no, but then she starts getting sexual with this thing.
Yes.
And it gets weird. She's like, you're so much hotter than my boyfriend. And I don't know if there's like insertion or if she's just grinding on this dead dude's dick.
Right.
But then she like freaks out.
Yeah.
Because like the eyes pop up open and like it starts to grab her on its own volition.
Yes.
And so she's like, holy shit. And then she goes on a full trip and she ends up in the freezer.
Yeah, accidentally locking herself in the
freezer and just dying there.
Well, we don't know if she's dead.
Oh, yeah, I think she's dead.
At the end, she's not.
You know,
Post-credit scene.
I know, but like, you know, she's still like stuck in the trip. So like, we don't know.
And
yeah,
because she just took acid and half a bottle of tequila, we don't really know how much of that was all in her head. Obviously, the grinding on a dead body was creepy
real.
Either way. But
or was it? No, but
not my style.
But it cuts back to the club, and Cop Girl is like, for some reason they're playing 7 Minutes in Heaven in a club.
Yeah,
which was weird, but it was with like MAGA hat guy.
Yeah,
and they've had actually history together.
Right.
But like it was great for him, not so great for her because she was like, yeah, senior year, everyone thought I fucked you in the closet when I didn't.
Right.
And he was like, I mean,
oh yeah, because he totally is the kind of guy who was like, it doesn't matter if we do it or not, because when I leave here, I'm telling everybody we did.
Yeah, and it's not like, don't think we're getting political because he has a MAGA hat. It's just
the identifying feature.
Yeah, he's
a flasher with a MAGA hat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, MAGA because this, but not like any of the policies. He just thinks Trump is funny.
Right.
But like, no, she dips out of there. She's like, no, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm out of here. Calls an Uber.
Yeah.
It's a guy that we get a clip of earlier between the scenes of like this guy dressed up in a Dracula outfit, and he's like, I love Halloween. And so like she gets dropped off at her home. She notices one of her friends is just puking her guts out. Or no, not even her friend.
Right.
Because like the girl's like, yeah, the guy just dropped me off here. And she's like yakking, like chunks and chunks.
Yeah.
And so like she's like, oh, let me go in the house, and then like I think it's like maybe her boyfriend's house, and she's like she yells out for Jimmy or something. Oh no, maybe that's like her little brother, because we do.
Oh yes, yeah.
But she notices like the house is broken into, and she notices MAGA hat and like another random thug is in there.
Right.
She tries to get away. She tells Alex, not Alexa, Alex, to call 911. The other random thug is like, yo, this is supposed to be a B&E, not that, what you're doing.
Right.
I'm going to go tell the other random thugs what you're doing, because we got a code, bro. All right, we only steal stuff, not not people's lives.
Right. It's always one thing to roofie the girl when she's not paying attention, but you don't break into somebody's house and then roofie them.
That not even roofie. He's just like
we tried to.
Oh yeah. Oh, he tried to. No. The random thug did not try to.
Right.
He was there for one specific theme. He's the thieves
like,
code.
Good luck. Find a ride home.
Yeah. He's like, I'm totally gonna rat you out.
Right. Yeah. Because he's all like, "There's nothing in here to steal."
Yeah. It's just pictures of people. Yuck. A happy home. But no, but she's able to like kind of fight her way out of this. She's a scrapper. You know, like she like I don't know, she like kind of like smacks him away, goes into the garage, hits him with like some nails with a nail gun.
Nail gun. Fuck 4 nails into his foot.
Yeah, but this guy, he's just hocked up on adrenaline,
right?
Drugs, and
but the like the roofie part, like he throws her down and he tries to stick them. Like in her mouth, and while he's trying to do that, she kicks him square in the junk.
Yeah.
And then,
man, but like this guy is so like hocked up on so many things, like horny, drugged up.
Yep.
But yeah, she's able to like kind of fight her way until they get into this clearing where she finds like an axe.
Yeah.
She tries swinging it, but he kind of like disarms her, and then she falls underneath like a swing set, and then all of a sudden this. I don't know if it was him or if it was like the magic of the person that ends up killing him.
Right.
He like gets entangled in the chains and she like holds onto him to like hang him.
Yeah.
But then she kind of knocks herself out. And all of a sudden this guy's body's dismembered.
Right. Yep.
Blood all over him. And then who I presume to be Jimmy, the Cobra Kai kid, finds him and he's like, holy shit, my sister. And that segment kind of ends. The radio guy's like, watch out who you befriend, who you associate with, people, because there's people out there trying to do you bodily harm. 66.6 FM.
This is Chili Billy or whatever his name was, something like that.
And after this segment, yeah, like, after the radio guys talk about it and everything, it cuts back to the Uber guy.
Yeah.
And he picks up like some tech-looking bro. He's just on his phone having a cigarette, and he's just like, the Uber guy's trying to just make conversation. You get bored, so you just try to talk to people, and he's like, hey, dude, can you just like not right now? Like, I'll give you 5 stars, all right? And he like rolls his eyes, but he's like, hey, man, you can't smoke. And he's like, dog, I told you I'm going to give you 5 stars. Just be cool. I fucking hate Halloween. And that was like the breaking, was it the straw that broke the camel's back. He's like, man, get out of here, man. Mainly it was about the smoke, but then that last comment kind of ticked him off.
Well, yeah, because he's dressed like a vampire, so he's not playing about Halloween.
But then he texts somebody. He's like, got another one. And you're like, what is going on? And all of a sudden, like, the tech bro kind of disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he goes to the same gas station where the prostitutes were. And, actually, he's like their ride. He's one of the girls' ride.
Right.
The girls' conversation is like super funny.
It's a weird because they're all like, when he pulls up and kind of gets out, they're all like, which one of us has to screw the vampire?
Yeah. Because they're talking about, like, I hate fucking clowns. Like, they always, like, squirt you with a flower. And I was like, is that, like, a thing about the penis? Or... Maybe not, but yeah, whatever. But it's actually one of the girls' Uber things. And the girl's like, so, I just have to go meet my pimp right now. And he's like, oh, can I meet him too? And I was like, that was like a weird question, but okay.
Right, yep.
But they end up going there. And the pimp, or like the vampire, like all the pimp and his crew are like laughing at this guy.
Right, and the girl's like, I'll introduce you, but
you're on your own.
He's moody sometimes, so he might beat your ass.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, no, that's cool. I want to meet him. I've never met a real pimp before.
Yeah. And like they're all like kind of like shitting on him, like, oh, what are you gonna be here? What you gonna do here, dog? Suck some blood or suck some dick? Yeah. And then like one guy comes by, he's like, yeah, you heard him, you gonna suck some dick? And he's like, why don't you suck on this? And he pulls out his cane, it's a fucking gun.
Right.
And then all of a sudden this other big brawny guy comes out of nowhere in a flannel looking like a damn lumberjack. And they start like killing these random thugs.
Right. Yeah. The lumberjack guy is like Reacher, like Reacher size, like
Yeah, not Tom
built.
Cruise Reacher, but like Thaddeus Reacher.
Yeah.
And and like they're fighting and they're having this whole scrap. They're like kind of disarming a bunch of these guys, but like towards the last end of the tail end of the fight, one guy's coming with like I think like a spear or something,
Yeah.
and like Jack Reacher fucking shoots him, and he's like, "Dog, you had a gun this whole time?" He's like, "Oh, come on, man, you know how I feel about guns, dude. Like, you know." There's only one in the chamber, dude. This is just for emergency situations. And he's like, and they're like, what should we do about this prostitute? And Vampire just like pimp slaps her. He's like, I don't know her. But then all of a sudden, you see them. They're like in this clearing,
Right.
and like they have like this tarp over something that's moving. And then like another guy kind of joins them. He looks like what's it called, like Frankenberries.
Right. And then Lumberjack's now got a
Wolfman mask
on.
He's like, next year I'm just gonna be Hercules. Yeah, yeah. The man.
He's like, why do you have to be Dracula every year?
Yeah. He's like, I just don't want to buy a new outfit, man. He's like, all right, fine. Next year, Hercules, Kevin Sorbo style. And then like Frankenberry comes up and he's like, dude, where's Lenny? He's like, he was kind of freaking out, so I gave him some Ambien or some
roofies. Like, you what?
Yeah, you roofied Lenny? He's like, no, he was just anxious. Like, you know, he kind of needed it. He's needed to take a nap. So all of a sudden, like, they're like, all right, well, like, let's just get him ready, you know, you like kind of pick him up and then they put him into the forest. I was like, why'd you guys?
Right, and they said that like, my God, you drugged Lenny and then you wrapped him up so he looks like a mummy.
He's just gonna tear all that shit anyway. It's like funny too because like the whole conversation is like the lumberjack is just like stuck on this whole roofing Lenny.
Yeah.
But then he's also mad. He's like, dude, you make 6 figures a year and you buy the same cheap beer. And he's like,
it's just some Black Swan beer or something like that. He's like, this is the stuff we drank in the military.
These PBRs or whatever like that, or like White Stones. It's beer pong beer, you know?
And Lumberjack.
Yeah.
So Lumberjack has been in quite a bit of movies. And
oh, yeah, he has.
No major parts, but like he's in some actual movies, and he is by far the best actor. Like all of his lines are like spot on.
Yeah, they hit.
Like he doesn't sound like he's like reading the script. It's
it's like he's like
flowing.
Yeah, he's like doing it like his bro stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny. The whole conversation is funny because he couldn't get past the roofing Lenny. But Dan's like, all right, let's get down to business. My favorite fucking time of the year, dude. And then they uncover this tarp, and it's a bunch of people. Right. It has to be at least a dozen people. And they're like, all right, well, you know, you guys are terrible fucking people.
Right.
But, you know, we're not really murderers. We don't want to be, you know, we want to give you guys a fighting chance. And they start dousing them with, like, pig's blood or something like that.
Yeah. And then put a pumpkin on everybody's head.
Yeah, and they're like, so, here's the deal. I'm going to let you guys get up. You guys can run to the forest line. That's going to be your best bet. Past the forest line, we're not going to chase you.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's your chance. So let the games begin. And he pulls out, like, he has like a truck bed full of different spears.
Right. Well, like one's got like a chainsaw like blade at the top.
It's like Dead Rising. They made their own like javelins and all that stuff, and they're just chucking it. And all of a sudden, you hear from the distance, Lenny is finally kind of like getting up from his stupor, and it looks like he's transforming.
Yeah.
Which this probably has to be like the best, like the actual when you see the actuality of it, it's like the best practical. Right. Portion of this.
Yes.
You don't get to see him transform, like rip out of his like skin, which I thought would have been really cool. I mean, American Werewolf in London did it.
Need a little bit more budget to go with that.
But yeah, and so like everyone's running, everyone's freaking out. They're like, it's the guy who doesn't love Halloween. He's like, I love Halloween. No, I love Halloween. I was like, all right. In my head, I was like, you guys are just vigilantes getting rid of scum. This guy just doesn't like a holiday. Like he's an asshole.
Right.
He's not putting out his cigarettes, but I don't know if this warrants that. And all of a sudden, this being starts flying, picking off these people one
Right.
by one.
All of a sudden, it's Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, pretty much like Jeepers Creepers without the super sick drip, But super cool though. Like the outfit looks cool. He has like this wombat looking face.
Yeah, it's a well done.
Yeah, he looks like what Morbius should have looked like. Because he looked like Morbius from like the animated series.
Yeah, yeah.
Super cool. And it's just absolutely obliterating everybody. And then like all of a sudden, like I think freaking Frankenberry throws a spear into the electrical plant.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, how do you miss so bad, Frankenberry? But then all of a sudden we cut to the radio station for the final story.
Right.
Of this thing, and it's like this is a story about this childhood horror. Every small town has like some sort of tragedy for some reason.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and I was like I know this personally because I grew up around the time.
Right.
And so they start telling this story about like this little teenage kid he has having to do a dare from his friend, or not his friends, but like maybe more of his bullies. And they're like, we'll let you trick or treat from us if you get a comic from the haunted house in the basement. But then we're also cutting to this team of paranormal investigators going to said house. Right, and so like we're telling the story parallel to each other, mainly with the paranormal group. The woman is like this older lady. She seems to be a medium,
right?
Because we get that just because two of the people have to get stuck behind with the van because they get a flat tire, and and
she didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Oh, so not a psychic.
Not a psychic, only a medium. But like they start to do the interview in the house with the medium, but she's getting visions of the tragic event.
Yes.
And so like this whole situation's happening. Meanwhile, at the radio station, Paul, who is the second radio DJ, is like kind of tripping out. He's having some sort of like episode, but he starts to see the kid that died in the fire of this haunted house.
Right.
Meanwhile, the medium is also seeing that, and she's trying to save this child. And her camera crew is like, oh my God, like, Leslie, are you okay?
Yeah.
Trying to save her. And meanwhile, the daughter and like the other camera guy is outside with the thermal cam, and it's like, this house says it's on fire.
Right.
It's like glowing red hot. And so a lot of things are happening. Meanwhile, the radio DJ is getting a phone call from somebody like, hey, that's not how the story goes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you kind of like, you're getting like all these different sides because you're like, got the radio DJ. He's telling the story of the way he heard it, where like this kid was deranged and he went and he locked himself in the house and he lit the house on fire and burned it down.
Yeah.
And like burned alive inside, and that his two friends were trying to save him and they couldn't save him, and then like. The girl who calls in is like, that's not the story. I know the story. And she's relaying the story that she got from her mom, who was the psychic or the medium.
Yeah.
And that the story is more that, this kid was bullied into going into this. And then the bullies locked him in there. Yeah. And there was no power. So, like, he had, like, a lighter. And that was how he was, like, trying to find the comic books. So they weren't going to let him out until he found comic books. And then he accidentally dropped the lighter onto the comics and lit the house on fire.
Yeah, and the girl's like, yeah, and you know who did it? It was your second DJ, Paul.
Yup.
And now the radio station's on fire because Paul has now gone full freak out mode, and this maybe ghost set the radio station on fire.
Yeah.
and so Paul dies. Radio DJ ends up kind of tripping out of the radio station and is about to get killed by the jester until Witch Girl rips up his photo.
Yeah.
And
the photo of the jester clown.
Of the jester clown. And and the movie kind of just like starts to like not dwindle, but like it's funny because like there's like this little kid in a trick or treat outfit and he ends up meeting Morbius.
Yeah.
but then like the little kid gives Morbius a treat.
A candy bar.
Yeah, and then he just leaves, and then it goes back to like the four vigilantes are like. Lenny's like, how many did I get? He's like, you got all of them, dude.
He's, oh, wait a second. Let me wipe that little bit of pimp off your cheek.
Yeah. And they're just like, they're drinking beers, like having a good old time. Meanwhile, one did escape. He's like running the streets in his underwear, like it's soaked in pig's blood.
Right.
And like the prostitutes are laughing at him because he looks crazy, and he's trying to get into this phone booth, but the pumpkin head won't like fit in the phone booth. And then what else? Like we're at the cutscenes now, but what was the other cutscene?
So then he comes out of the phone booth, and then like a swoop, and his head comes off.
And then the last,
and then there's the after his head comes off, boop. The two prostitutes kind of like look at each other. They're like, "You want to just go home and cuddle?" Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the after credit scene is like the little girl like digging a grave for her little gremlin.
Yep.
But then the gremlin's hand pops out full moon style.
You're right. It's a gremlin because the dude from Gremlins was in this movie. Yes. Gotcha.
Oh man, but yeah, and then the movie ends right there. Let's go into our other section: high star, low star. Colby.
I was like, I don't know if we're gonna find a 10, but we got a 9 out of 10. This is amazing. You need to watch it. This movie is a throwback to the old horror movies, i.e., they had to scare you with the story. It has its share of violence, gore, profanity, but surprisingly, no nudity.
Shame.
I would have been even more disturbed if the girl was naked on the dead guy, which is all too common in this genre. It's a long movie, and it kept me guessing until the end. It doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, watch it again, and every detail has a purpose.
It actually did have a 10, but it just said dope. And then we have a 1 out of 10, embarrassing. Everything about this is bad. The budget, it has to be next to nothing. The costumes look like they came from Spirit Halloween discount bin. And several of the props are literally the exact same items currently on sale at my local supermarket. The acting level across the board feels like a local community theater, or a step below that if I'm being honest. Some community theater productions put forth real, genuine effort. This does not. And that's the real problem. Everything about this is lazy. The writing, the acting, the dialogue, the lighting, the camera work, the general level of craft. It all feels half-hearted and extremely amateur. It also has a kind of gross, crass vibe that feels unintentional and more of a result of unprofessional attitudes of the filmmakers. Just cheap and stupid, major disappointing with this thing. The only good thing about this film was the poster. Everything else is totally forgettable. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, the movie poster of this, it totally sets it up for failure.
Yeah,
it's a good movie poster. Like if I saw that at like at a Hollywood video or a blockbuster, I'd be like, oh, that movie is gonna be dope.
Right.
80s classic movie poster, sick.
Yep.
But I can see the merit in the 1 out of 10. Honestly, it is a very made for TV type of movie on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, I mean, like it's low budget. Their biggest budget was like chunk was the guys.
Yeah, Morbius.
Yes.
That suit
and that was by far the best
segment
of the little stories. Like that was well done. The acting, I think, all around, pimps, hoes, the killers, the costumes, everything in that really worked really well. Even the gory like spearings and stuff like that was pretty on point.
That was probably the best portion of this, because it's like, it's like I don't know if I can class. I like B horror movies to have somewhat of a. So you said there was an overarching plot. Is it the DJ or?
No.
Go ahead.
Well, yes, the DJ is a little bit of an overarching plot, but it's the girl. She's the very first person you see, the little girl in the witch outfit. She's the cutscene at the end, at the post credit. She's the witch. Her mom was obviously a witch who was killed because she was a witch. I mean, stepdad's like, I don't want to raise a witch, but she's my daughter. Halloween is just the evil night. I gotta lock her in her room because obviously, like you said,
some witch shit.
She's gonna do some witch shit, and we already know that last year something really bad happened.
Yeah.
Because of her witch shit. So we gotta lock her in here. So like he's drunk and he's an asshole, but he's
doing his best.
He's not doing a bad thing.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe it's because of the alcoholism.
Right.
That it comes off like very aggressive.
Well, right. And they want to have him come across as like
a bad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, cause obviously you get hints at, cause he's like, I don't want to have to pay all this property damage that you did like last year.
Right.
So like there's a lot of like factors going into it, and like I don't know really realistically how do you handle that type of situation, which is gonna be hard. So honestly though, I wish the movie was kind of just centered around those kids.
You're right. It should have been a little bit more because you could have definitely had like the girl cop or the costume and MAGA hat. Like you could have gotten that a lot more from the point of view of her little brother, who was one of the kids. Like each story you could have gotten
with the little kids,
that would have kind of tied better together. But I feel like they were going more with the witch thing. She drew the clown and things that the jester clown and the things that she draws come to life. So all the murders and everything were all because of a creature she created.
Yeah.
And then at the end when she rips it in half and it disappears, that it's all.
You can undo everything. Not
right.
Like at least
but
kill.
It's all her. Like everything except for, well, it's kind of like
the vigilante.
She's drawing it because she hates people. Some people, mostly bullies, mostly bad people. And that's what she's like, I hate people who like poison the candy. So my clown's going to kill you. I hate this little punk bully who's, smashing my pumpkins. Clown's going to kill you. I hate, drug dealers. Clown's going to kill you.
And it's very on point for like a little kid to just think bad across the board.
Right.
Because like, you're still developing your sense of like right and wrong. Like you still know, like obviously when you're like around their age, you know what right and wrong is, but like the varying degrees of it, right? Like obviously the little kid could have been remedied by just like, hey, do you want to come into our treehouse? But you got to stop being a dick. But it's like, with kids, it's like one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, I think that would have been a really cool way to have all these stories tie in with this group of kids. Like, the Cobra Kai is like his sister's getting harassed by this dude. And like, like the Regal vampire girl, her dad could have been the drug dealer. And you're like, oh, I wish my dad would stop dealing drugs. And then this witch girl doesn't know, like, well, how else do you stop an adult?
Right. Yeah.
It's
right. And like at 12, like death's not necessarily permanent in your head. You're like, I'll kill him. Yeah. And then whatever, next week, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's, you don't have necessarily that understanding.
Yeah, and like, and what's it called? Like one of the other kids, her mom could have been the nurse lady. Or well, no, that would have been a stretch, but like still, like also you could just cut out that nurse lady portion.
Right. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you're kind of getting the guy who was giving out drugs. Like, is drugs bad? Well, this is why drugs are bad because they're gonna make you want to hump a corpse. I don't know. So that's kind of like it's trying to tie that into, but I also think they were like, we need like just one little shock value in here.
The argument is very, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Right. And then you have like the group who that turn into Man Bat and Spear of the Pimps. they're a little more distant from the
everything.
connection.
Yeah.
But they have the same premise. It's still, hey, we're the good guys. This is the one night of the year that we come out to
clean the town up.
To kill bad guys, basically.
Yeah.
To feed our vampire friend or our man-bat friend.
Except for the guy that just didn't like Halloween and wouldn't stop smoking.
Smokers.
He's like, he's
Smokers.
breaking the law right now, bro. Yeah. But like, also that could have been a portion that like you really could have done without the actual vigilante guys and just had the man bat. Like the girl could have just drawn this man bat. So I think like.
But I like how they showed that it was like the man bat wasn't a bad guy by like the little kid, and he confronted the little kid, and the kid's like, "Candy bar," and he's like, "Dude, knuckles, kid, I'm out of here."
For sure, dude. Yeah.
Pound it.
You know what they say. You know what they say when you're hungry. You know.
You don't seem like yourself, Luis.
Yeah, but like that's also like I think if you had restructured this movie to have it tie in with either these kids, which could be the main focal point of the movie, because then also like this is during 2020 or maybe when this wrote this movie, like Stranger Things still had the hype of like a little group of little kids getting to dangerous shit. And that could have like really, I think, helped this movie feel a little bit more cohesive, less disjointed. Like they tried to do it with the radio station thing, but I was like, that kind of like, it kind of takes you out.
Yeah.
But
or if the little girl had drawn some, like if there was some kind of picture in her book that kind of went with each story, then it would have made that more like, oh yeah, she's a witch, and this is actually all like her doing.
Yeah, because like when you draw, you draw with intention,
right?
And so you're like, okay, so the gesture will like kill anybody that's not adhering to the spirit of Halloween,
right?
And so like kids that are tricking and trick or treating and stuff like that. And all that stuff, and then like, oh yeah, the man bat will kill all these bad guys, that like are here to harm people, or she could have drawn with attention,
right?
With all these like maybe stories from her friends that are like, oh like my dad deals drugs. I wish. He makes it so hard for my mom. I wish he would just go away.
Right. If there was like a little mention of those, even if they were just a little mention of those different things to tie into the story while they were like up in the treehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the reveal that like, oh yeah, her mom was a witch.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that would have been that. See, that would have been like, I think that would have made this movie, because I could forgive a lot, right? Like the whole sucking the blood out of the eye sockets thing was like pretty cheap.
Right.
It looked pretty dated. And even some of the kills, like during the vigilantes, like when one guy, like, what's it called? He like sliced some dude's head in half. And it's like you see it for like 2-3 seconds, but those 2-3 seconds, you're like, that's so fucking see. That looked like that looked like PlayStation 2 graphics.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, this movie it's fun. It's nice to. I always like to see just like any kind of horror films, and especially horror films that kind of tie around the holiday. Right. But let's get to our other section. First of all, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our other Halloween months. We got a plethora of them.
Right. We're like 4. This is our 4th Halloween?
5?
Something like
4, 4, yeah. I think we started at the tail end of 2019. So. Yeah. So we got.
Oh, right, because we just missed it.
Yeah.
We started with Christmas and then. Yeah.
Really strange, But yeah, we have a bunch of months out there for you, but we also have other themed months there for you, so definitely check that out. We have Cosmic Horror Month and all that stuff. So
right, we have a WWE Studios Month, movies done by WWE, and then we have a WWE Superstar Month, all movies starring wrestlers.
WWE stars, right? I'm surprised Roman Reigns hasn't had one yet, Yeah. But yeah, we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray, and an Ultimate Box collection. Kobe, where are you at for this one?
I'm torn. if I want to DVD this or stream it. I might have to go DVD. Like I'm certainly like Blu-ray. You're not getting anything. You're not getting. There's no bonus on this one. But yeah, I like. This is definitely like. This could absolutely Halloween party, Halloween time of year. Throw this in the background. You don't necessarily have to pay attention.
Yeah.
There's enough Halloween, and it is heavily Halloween themed, which is very cool. There's always like trick or treat.
Yeah.
Like there's always pumpkins in the background, like jack-o'-lanterns in the background. There's always like skeletons hanging from trees and stuff like that. Very very like you come
On
in any
theme.
part of it, you're not ever questioning what is this movie about? This is about Halloween. Okay.
Yeah. Honest, if for me, I want to say DVD. I feel like what would have bumped that up. I have to say stream. I want to say DVD though. I would have bumped that up to DVD if they tried to do mostly practical.
Yeah.
And I think there was room for you. You can I think a lot of us like when we watch B horror movies, I think we always forgive the cutaway.
Right.
Because we understand like the budget of the movie we're watching.
Yes. Yep.
But so like if you had kind of like the whole like sucking the blood out of the eyes thing, you could have just showed the after effect. Because the after effect looked cool. It looked like what happened to like when you kill angels in Supernatural.
Right.
Or like when angels kill demons in Supernatural,
Yeah.
like the whole hollowed out eyes and everything. That would have just been cool to see.
And you could have definitely done that where you're shooting it from like behind the mom.
Yeah.
And then like so you're not see like you could just have some lights flashing and stuff, and then Dad falls, and then you could look at Dad and he's on the ground and his eyes are gone and his like tongue is gone,
Yeah.
and his face is bleeding, and you're like, I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, because like we also understand the beauty of like less is more.
Right.
Because you're like, because then you're like, oh dang, what the hell did she do to him to hollow him out like that? Or or even like during like and then like just like some of the stories were kind of like, what is this for? Like the whole like interaction with the lady cop and the MAGA dude.
Oh, that was one of the post. Sorry. One of the post-credit scenes is you have the corpse hunter girl, and she's locked in. But she's like still alive, and she's like is sitting in there crying, and like none of the bodies are like moving or anything, and she's like,
but that's
what
also
the hell just happened?
that's also like another story. Like, why was that there? So it just like you don't have drugs are bad. But because this movie is like an hour and 45, and for the most part, we always say like, oh, this movie could have used 15 more minutes.
Right.
This movie, we obviously, full moon house over here, a tight 85,
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, for that, I think I have to say stream it. Oh man, but yeah, we're coming to our end. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below where we have our
all of our socials. We got our Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. I think that's all.
Oh, and you have to
Instagram. Did I say it? Whatever.
Yeah, you also have to tell them about what you're doing this month.
And making drinks. We're making alcoholic beverages based on the movies that we're watching.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely check out the TikTok, and we'll slap that up on the Instagram and the YouTube to put out there as well. So you have a nice little cocktail for yourself to watch these movies, because
Absolutely.
some of these movies might not be for you, and you might not need it. We're gonna be honest with you guys. But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on the album Music Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.